Most people doing Amazon product research are all crowded into the same place, the same categories, and the same niches, fighting over products that everyone else already found. In this video, I'm going to show you a completely different way to find products, and that is the Helium 10 magnet method. You start with a single word, and it hands you niche markets that you never would have thought to search for. Then I'll show you how to open up those keywords on Amazon, and we're going to use X-Ray to find dozens of golden product opportunities on these niche keywords. And by the end of this video, you'll have a repeatable way to find opportunities that your competitors are not even looking at. So we're going to use Magnet to search and X-Ray to filter, done properly. And if you don't have Helium 10 yet, there's a link in the description that will give you massive savings. All right, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, now we are back on Helium 10 and we are going over the magnet method this time. And the magnet method is great because it's a different approach than black box that you can use in tandem, switch hit with those two methods and really change the way that you're finding products for your private label brand by utilizing Helium 10 to its fullest. So in order to find magnet, we're going to come over to the product section and we're going to go to Cerebro plus magnet. They recently merged those two tools together. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Now, once you're on this page, we are going to start searching words, okay? In this search bar here, a few different ways you can use this particular tool, but we're just going to go over the way that I use for product research, okay? Because there's lots of other ways to do this for finding keywords for your listing or PPC or spying on your competitors' keywords. This tool is great for all of those things, but for product research, this is something that not a lot of people do. So I'm excited to share it with you. So we're going to start with a word, okay? And the word that we are searching is really just to pull up a bunch of broad search terms that people are searching actively on Amazon that will pull us into a lot of different niches, okay? So I'm going to start with one word, and like I said, it's going to be a broad word. So I'm going to start with the keyword wooden, let's say. And yeah, obviously wooden is very broad, and that'll bring us into who knows what types of search terms that are going to be in tons of different niches, hopefully. So let's go ahead and search that. And this is just going to take a moment to pull up all these different search terms that are related to the keyword wooden. Okay, let's just talk quickly about what we're seeing here, right? Keyword search summary, wooden, search volume for that particular keyword, wooden, 1,800 people per month. There's a total keywords of 8,200. Some of them are paid, some of them are organic. What do we do with this information? And the answer is nothing, really. We don't need to do anything with it because what we want to do is come down here and start looking for keywords that interest us, right? That are going to pull up unique products on those pages. So we kind of want to think like a chess player here and go, what will this bring up if we were to open this on Amazon? Okay. Now, what you'll notice here is that wooden is not popping up in a lot of these, right? Building blocks for 4-year-olds, no light alarm clock, decorative mason jar lids, 3D puzzle. Why are these showing up if we put in wooden? Well, there's something called back-end keywords, and you know there's also the title and the bullets. Basically, it'll show up as a relevant keyword or search if there's products that are having this term in there somewhere in their listing. So yeah, it's not relevant to us, a lot of these different products, because we're here to look for wooden products. So I'm going to come over to phrases containing, and I'm going to type in wooden, and I'm going to hit enter on that. And then now you can see all of these different keywords have wooden there. So this is kind of what we want when we're looking for keywords related to that broad term that we put in, that single keyword, which was wooden. Okay, so now let's look at what we have, right? Wooden blocks, wooden trinket box, wooden building blocks for kids, baby blocks wooden, wooden toy blocks, cupcake stand wooden. Okay, what I like about this is that we're seeing different niches, right? It's one keyword, one word, right? But we're seeing tons of different lanes we can go down when it comes to product ideas, right? Or product niches. What I'm going to do here is start opening some of these up, right? So I'm going to take wooden toys for kids, and you can just hit this little box with the arrow to open it up on Amazon. I'm going to take cupcake stand wooden. I'm going to take carved wooden boxes. That might be interesting. Let's also take, see, I'm not too interested in something like this, Amber Home wooden hangers, because that tells me it's going to be an entire search page of just hangers, right? That is not too interesting to me from a product point of view. So I'm going to avoid that. Wooden food display, however, interests me. Also, we have wooden tiered stand. That also interests me. Yeah, let's go to the next page. Now, before I do that, let's just talk about these columns over here, right? They are not relevant to you right now. right? It doesn't matter what the search volume says. Some people may tell you otherwise, but keep in mind, we're just looking for product ideas right now, right? We're not gauging market size or anything like that. What we're doing is just trying to find interesting niches, product opportunity lanes that we can go down. So none of these are particularly relevant or interesting to me at this point in time. Will they be relevant later? Absolutely, these columns. But for right now, we're just getting ideas here for our research funnel. So let's come over here and start looking at some of these different products. What I'm going to do now is look at this page and see what is showing up here. Okay, so this is actually really interesting to me because a couple things here, right? You can see that there's solid sales on these, right? Look at this, 200 plus bought in the last month with 91 reviews. That's very interesting. 1,000 plus bought in the last month with under 1,000 reviews. We have 400 plus bought with 246 reviews. And it's also different products, right? It's not all the same thing. So this is really interesting to me already because I can see that there's a lot of opportunity here, right? So how do I add these to my funnels and how do I get a little bit more information for this particular keyword that we're on, right? This particular search term. What we're going to do is we're going to use the Helium 10 Chrome extension. Now, if you don't have this, I'll link it down below. But once you've signed up for Helium 10 and hopefully use the discount link down below as well for that, you are going to want to get the Chrome extension, okay? So the Chrome extension will allow you to pull up different tools that are on Helium 10 that you can use right on the Amazon search pages. So we're going to use X-Ray Amazon Product Research right at the top here, because what that's going to do is it's going to pull up a lot of data for this particular search term that we're on. So what it's doing right now is it's pulling up the last 30 days of data for this particular product. And what this is going to do, allow us to see in a little bit more detail some actual numbers behind some of these products, right? And this is kind of what we were doing in the previous video with the black box method, is we get to have control now over looking at products with certain ASIN revenue, products with maximum review counts, or maybe monthly units sold sales velocities. This gives us a lot more controls as to the products we want to add to our funnel. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is hit load more here, because what that'll actually do is pull up the second page of search results. It will allow you to sort of go deeper right away into this one particular search term, okay? Because that's just a quick way of getting more products on one particular search that you got from Magnet, or Cerebro as it's now known. And while this is loading up, let's just talk about some of the filters that we might set. So if you remember from the last video, we looked at ASIN revenue, we looked at review counts, we set certain price point filters like $20 to $70. Now, because there's only 153 ASINs showing up here, and a lot of them actually will be duplicates because we are seeing that some of these are sponsored listings, and you'll often see on certain keywords, particularly if it's decent search volume, like 504, it's not nothing, but it's not a tremendous amount either. People will be sponsoring themselves on that keyword, even if they're showing up there organically. So it says 153 ASINs, but there's probably less than that. So because of that, I'm actually going to set my filters a little bit more broad here. So what I'm going to do is set the widest retail price range. So I'll do 20 to 70. We'll do same ASIN revenue that we did before, which is 5K to 15K. Or let's do it a little bit wider. We'll do 20K. Anything else that we want to put in? Let's say that's it for now, because again, I don't know what's going to show up here. So we actually have 37 ASINs with that. That's not bad. What I'm going to do is sort it by ASIN revenue, because when I do this, the first thing I'm looking at, and you can see that I've actually put the reviews column next to my ASIN revenue column. That's intentional so that I can do what I call pairing, which is looking at the relationship between ASIN revenue and the reviews, right? Because if you watch the last video, you want to have solid review counts in that they're lower, right? Under 300 or lower, the better, ideally. And in that ASIN revenue sort of range that we look for, right? So I put it up to 20K, which is fine with me right now. And you can see this top one here. Look, cupcake stand, 2-pack rusted wood cake stands, right? Or cupcake stands. 19,000 in monthly revenue, right? That is a lot. And it only has 48 reviews. So that is saying that that is selling really quickly with very little actual history on that listing, right? That is very good news for us as a potential seller in that niche. So I'm going to go ahead and select that product. We actually can do a number of things when it comes to adding it to our funnel. What I would do if you're just going to kind of, unless you're downloading this list with a CSV or something like that, I would probably just go and hit the save button, right? Because it's going to save it to your list right away. You can actually see I already have something saved to my funnel on this page already, which is interesting. I didn't know that. And then we'll just come down the list and look at all the other ones, right? What we're going to want to avoid is anything with a ton of reviews, which it actually doesn't seem like there are. 797 is high, sure, but it's not crazy high. I would probably avoid this 1,630 35 because that's a little more up there than I'm looking for at this particular point in time in my research journey, let's call it. But right now, all of these, for the most part, look very interesting. And you can see there are those duplicates that I was talking about. So once you save one, it's going to save both. Now, looking at this thing, Cupcake Stand, again, 18K in revenue with 241 reviews. That's super interesting. This thing here, 3-tier Cupcake Stand. What's interesting about this is like they're all basically the same thing, but they're not. It's not like they're the same product. They're different versions of the same product in the same niche, right? So in a lot of cases, it could actually be the same target customer, in which case, based on what I can see from the revenue and the reviews, this is a very interesting niche that I would absolutely want to look further into with potentially putting cupcake into my next keyword that I search up here, right? Because then I'm looking in the cupcake niche and I've made it even more targeted based on the products that I'm already adding to my funnel. So that's just a little tip for you there. So coming in here, let's just add a few more and then we'll move on to the next keyword. So this thing looks very interesting. Cupcake stand, 3-tier cupcake stand. So you can see like a 3-tier, a 4-tier. I had mentioned in the previous video as well, there's no real point in adding kind of very close variations or certainly the same thing. Like we don't need 2 3-tier cupcake stands in our funnel. So I'm not going to bother adding one if I already have the other, right? Because we'll look into it. We'll find the best versions once we actually get to the vetting stage, looking at the markets. Yeah, I think that's good for this particular keyword. They're all starting to kind of look the same now. This one here, again, it's a 3-tier, a little bit of a different design. This one, yeah, that's actually a 3-pack or 2-pack, also doing well. So there's different ways you can approach it, right? Different pack sizes, different tiers, all that sort of stuff. But I've saved quite a few from this particular search term. All right, so I'm going to come on to the next keyword now, which is the wooden food display. We can see that I would think there's, yeah, quite a few of the same products that we just saw on the previous keyword that is sort of similar in hindsight. Didn't really think about it when I was opening them up, but it makes sense now. We're seeing quite a few cupcake displays again, right? Or cake stands, because it's a food display keyword that we have this time, wooden food display. So of course we're going to see similar products if it's a similar-ish keyword or it's kind of fringing into a similar niche, which this clearly is. So I would still set the same filters and see maybe there's new products on here that we didn't see on the other wooden tiered stand keyword that we tried right before this. So I would still take a look at this because we didn't see this thing before, which is still a wooden cupcake stand, but it's got this interesting little swing in the middle. And again, $42.98 with 200 plus bought in the last month, 329 reviews. That's awesome. I would absolutely hang on to that one. So yeah, there's definitely still things that you can look at from this, but let's move on to the next one just to keep things moving and look in a fresher type category. This thing is interesting, this particular keyword. So this is, we typed in carved wooden boxes. Okay. One thing here is with these particular products, and we'll see once we actually set the filters, you want to just make sure that you're not going to, too much of an aesthetic play, right? Because if they're carved boxes, different designs on every single one, but it's basically the same keyword still, then again, just a little bit more advanced stuff, you are kind of getting into more of a subjective territory without actually having, much of an edge over anyone, because it really just depends on that potential customer's personal taste and preferences when it comes to what they like in terms of these wooden carved boxes, right? So that's one thing I would mention there, but let's just quickly open this up and see what we get in terms of sales. So far, I don't see tons of sales happening, so it might be a little bit of a wash anyway, this particular keyword, but let's take a look at what we have. So it's just fetching the last 30 days of data again, and I'm going to set just the same filters I did before, which is a wide price range and a wide ASIN revenue range for me, which is 5 to 20K, and then we'll hit apply filters. Okay, so we get a few things coming back. Decent revenue on these, right? Sorting by ASIN revenue. You can see 14,000, 12,000, 11,000, and almost 8,000. So this is solid. Okay, treasure chest keepsake wood box. Okay, I like that because that is unique, so I'm going to save that one. Wooden urn ashes. So again, this thing, a wooden urn, I'd have to see the market, but with that specific dove design, I would think that it's, again, a particular design that would be subjective, but I don't know, it's still worth saving and looking into. Old world wooden box with brass latch. Okay, actually lots of reviews on this one and this one. Didn't notice that before, so I'm actually going to take that out and avoid it. This one here is kind of just under the threshold that I like to see, but it is quite similar to this one here, which is a wooden treasure chest keepsake. So I'm just going to cap it at that for this particular keyword. I'm not going to bother with page 2 on this one just to keep the video moving, but that is something that you can do, of course, and I do recommend. So coming over here, cupcake stand wooden. Now we definitely definitely saw something like this before. Let's move over to wooden toys. Starting to see the connective tissue now after we've opened them all up and taken a look at some of these. Okay, so looking at this particular category, you can see it's quite all over the place in terms of what's here, but let's take a look at the filters and see if there's anything interesting that we can apply. So I'm just going to pull this up right here. And one thing I will say about what I'm seeing already on this particular page, just make sure that you are aware when you're going into certain product niches like these, where it's almost like no two offers are the same, right? Toddler car toys, musical instruments for kids. It's like if one search term is pulling up a lot of these very similar packs or groups of toys together, it's very hard to make yours stand out. That's just one thing I want to mention if there's a lot of pieces on the individual main image, because yeah, it just kind of crowds the main page as you just saw previously. So not a deal breaker, but just something I just wanted to mention. Okay, so let's do the same filters. We'll go 20 to 70 and ASIN revenue 5K to 20K. Apply filters. Okay, so we're seeing some solid stuff here. 40 pieces wooden stacking rocks. Sure. We have the baby musical instruments. Again, low reviews, great revenue. Sounds good to me. So I would avoid these ones, right? So what we could do actually is just come into the filters and let's do a review count max of, let's say 500. In this case. Okay, so that weeds out all those. And then we've got this one. We've got this one, which is a personalized name puzzle. Okay, I would probably avoid this one because that actually, I'm sure, is not an FBA. It is an MFN, which stands for Merchant Fulfilled. So that means that it's not an FBA offer, right? Because they are coming in with that particular baby's name. It's a customizable product. That's not something we're looking to do because that would kind of be more in the print on demand type category. We're not doing that. So we're going to skip that. But this looks super interesting. This wooden vending machine, again, super unique product, right? In an otherwise crowded space of potentially, lots of musical instruments or these other types of baby toys, something like this I've never seen before. So automatically it's interesting to me. And we have another musical instrument set. So I had mentioned if you have one, don't add a second because it's kind of one niche unless you see clear differences between those two product titles. And then we have this one here, which is old kid transport car carrier truck. Okay, I think I had seen something previously like this, but we didn't save it, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and save that and wrap up this video because that is a solid amount of products that we just added with really just 5 search terms that we opened up. Now looking at these again, we didn't open that many, right? We opened up 5 or so that we found from the first page. Again, it didn't matter what the search volume was. It didn't matter what the keyword sales were on this particular search term. We were just picking search terms that sounded interesting to us. And in hindsight, some of them were similar, but going into different types or different niches that you can see right off the bat, like going into, cupcake stands versus kids' toys, that'll obviously take you in 2 different directions. And there's so many different directions that you could go. If you come onto the next page and the one after, look, there's 39 pages here. So there's really an endless supply of products almost that are having wooden in the title with many, many different niches that you can look into, open up and find interesting products for your research funnel. All right, so that's the magnet method. One word in and a pile of niches that you never would have thought of out. Open those searches up and use X-Ray to filter out more product opportunities for your funnel. And here's what I want you to take from this. Blackbox and Magnet are not competing tools with one another. They're 2 doors that lead to the exact same room. And most beginners only ever use one, which means they're looking at all the same products fighting over the same crowded markets. The sellers who find the quiet, profitable little niches are the ones who are coming at research from more than one angle. So make sure to use both Blackbox one session and then Magnet the next. You're going to want to cast a wide net. And if you want to go even deeper on this exact method, I run live calls with members inside of the free Grow With FBA Skool community. We do full research sessions start to finish. But everything else you need to start is still right here in this video. And when you're ready for the next step, taking these products and actually vetting them before you invest a single dollar, that is coming up in the next video. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this. We have new videos every Tuesday and Friday, so subscribe if you want to follow along. And you can also drop a comment down below and tell me what broad keyword that you were going to start with the magnet method. I'm going to read every single one. All right, go fill that funnel. I will see you in the next one.